the love of God, connect. Holy Christ.
Oh, no.
It's initializing.
Oh, no.
It's determining best target server. What are you doing? Just connect.
This is what Twitch does. Don't worry. How much of a train wreck has this been so far? Man, I wish we could tell you.
Oh my god. I don't know what the hell's going on, but even logged in on the top-down thing, I can't get us to connect to YouTube at all. It won't verify.
I just got a text from Sean saying, Twitch?
I'm sorry. We had to. This is a top-down perspective. Welcome.
Hi, it's gonna be Trainwreck Edition. I hope you're ready for that.
Like, they're getting a peek behind the veil right now. Sean's the one that keeps us together. He is the glue that holds the show going.
It is his baby, let's be honest here.
And he does a damn good job about it. So,
He does.
Anyways, I'm Paul, and this is John.
Yo.
We are Seanless. He is without internet right now.
Yes, as he has moved.
Yeah, he did move, right? Like, he found a place, he said, and he spent the last week moving or something.
Yeah, and like he's complaining about how all his wall sockets don't have 3 prongs, they only have 2. Which is weird to think about. Like, how old is that house?
That's so good. Like, Jesus. So he doesn't have a ground in any socket at all?
No, not even remotely.
Wow, that seems like it could be potentially dangerous with all the, like, electrical stuff he likely has plugged in at all times. Ugh. But, yeah, anyways, enough about Sean. We talk about video games here, I guess.
When we're not complaining about tech issues.
Which is always, really, so...
It really is.
So what have you been playing?
The one downside to our setup is that now I can't have to lean off camera if I ever need to take a breath or something.
Really?
Well, no.
You're like Tay-Zonde.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was like, oh, you're going to pick up on it? You're going to get it? You did. You got it. I'm proud of you.
I've been on the internet.
Oh, man. You know how the internet works.
I do.
I went into a phase of trying to knock out some games on my backlogger. So I played some small Game Boy games and a Super Nintendo game. So I kicked it off with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game.
Right.
The Game Boy game.
Okay. How was that? Was it great?
It was all right. Imagine a game, a beat 'em up that has no hit stun. So if an enemy is attacking you, you just keep taking hits, and then you die in like one hit.
Oh, great!
Yeah. But the funny thing is, it doesn't come into play until one specific boss fight, and it's like Goldar of all characters. Goldar is the hardest character to fight in the game. Everyone else is a cakewalk, except for, well, I guess the final boss.
What about Rita?
Rita's not in this.
Is it Zed?
Zed is in it, but remember, it's the movie, so Ivan Ooze is the final villain.
Lame. All right. I like Zed. Zed's always been my favorite.
Zed was pretty awesome. It's like 3 random like enemies, Goldar, Zed, and then Ivan. But of course, before you fight Ivan, you have to go through a boss gauntlet because it's a beat 'em up.
Right, of course.
And I think my favorite thing about it is that whenever you go to character select, it plays like this really slow jam of the Power Rangers theme.
Oh, man. Just like a funky one or like... What?
Yeah, it's like a slow Game Boy funky jam of the Go-Go Power Rangers theme. It's actually kind of catchy.
It's just like... do, 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 or something.
It's like... do, 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 do,
oh, that sounds good.
Do, 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 do. It's really catchy. I like it.
That sounds so good, actually. I enjoy that.
And the other weird thing is, all the Power Rangers have like different stats. So like, one of the girls will jump the highest. One of the guys will do the most damage, and then people will be like a balance between that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know that they have that difference until you actually play as them. So there was like in the Goldar fight, there's this platform that the ranger I was playing as couldn't reach. I was like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do? And I was just instinctively randomly switching rangers whenever they lose, and suddenly I could land on the platform.
Wow, really? That's so lame. Okay.
But it's weird because you know who does the most damage?
Pink Ranger, Kimberly.
Billy.
What?
Yeah, Blue Ranger does the most damage in the game. He does double damage.
What?
I know. I was like, all right, I'll just keep using Billy for the rest of the game. I'm cool with this.
He does double damage?
Yeah,
The
I don't know
nerd.
why. He does more damage than Tommy does. I went with it. I beat the game. I rolled with it.
How long is this game?
6 stages.
Okay, so not too long. Each stage takes what, maybe like 15 minutes, half hour or something?
Less than that. Like 10 minutes maybe at most.
Oh, okay, so it's an hour long, basically.
Yeah, probably even less. But like, you would randomly die, and like it was like a case of you have one life, your health meter drains, you get game over. But continue literally puts you like at the beginning of the room you were in when you died. So.
Oh, so you can kind of just power your way right through it.
And you kind of need to, because like I said, the Goldar fight's super broken because he can literally just be like, stab, 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 you're dead. And you can't get out of it.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like something Goldar would do.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this, I guess. How does it hold up to the first Super Nintendo Power Rangers game, which I loved?
Super Nintendo ones are better, easily.
Okay.
But they play similarly. There's a Game Boy version of the original one as well, too. Or like just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like
on
without
Game
Tommy.
Boy?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that one at all.
I have it, so I know I've played it, and it's all right.
Okay.
That's also I didn't know there was a movie Game Boy tie-in until I played the Game Boy one or saw it in a store like last month. So.
Interesting. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah,
so
they're both cool.
Sorry.
So they're both cool.
Cool. So you did Power Rangers, and then it looks like on your list here, you did a game I love, Contra, Alien Wars.
Contra the Alien Wars, not Contra 3 the Alien Wars.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Contra 3 you were getting at there.
No, it's Contra the Alien Wars for Game Boy, which is a port of Contra 3 onto the Game Boy.
Great. So how was that?
Surprisingly good.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear.
It was made by Factor 5. The guys are best known for the Rogue Squadron series.
Wow. All
yeah.
right.
It is an almost perfect level recreation of every stage in Contra 3. They skipped the motorcycle stage, sadly.
Oh.
For good reason,
yeah.
Considering it's the Game Boy.
Sure, yeah.
But every other stage is in it.
Okay. Like the iconic music and everything as well, and
as close as you can get on the Game Boy, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like even the top-down stages are there.
Even the top-down perspective ones.
Yep.
Oh man, tie-in. There you go. You got tied in somehow.
You did.
You got to get the ad revenue coming from a game that's really old on the Game Boy. You know.
God knows Factor 5 needs it after not existing anymore.
Exactly. We should have come around sooner. We could have saved them, goddammit. We could have done it. Okay, so what is Time Slip?
Time Slip is this Contra-like shooter on the SNES.
Okay.
The reason I remember it is because as a kid, it kind of scared me in a way. I was at a friend's place and we were just playing games in the dark, and this was one of them apparently. And when you get game over in this game, if you couldn't tell by the name of the game, it's a time traveling game. It's like it shows like this dark void, and then it's like game over. You were never born. The aliens win.
Amazing.
And then your character falls from like into the vortex.
Yeah.
And as a kid, obviously like overactive imagination, it scared me because it was like, oh man, like that was super dark and horrifying. But now as I played, I'm like, oh, this was just that.
Just
all
like
right.
a time paradox.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, cool.
But
like all the stuff I did remember was there. It's like you were never born, you fall into a pit. But I remember like the music being spookier, and which was not nearly like it's trying to be spooky, but it's Super Nintendo music. They can't get too spooky.
Sure.
But I don't know. It's an okay Contra game. You start with 9 lives, and you take 5 hits per life, but you don't have any continues, and there's like no actual way technically to earn extra lives. There's ways to cheat and get them though. That's about it.
Like with codes or something, or to break the game?
There's a healing item that if you overheal, you get an extra life basically.
Okay.
So like if you have 5 notches in your health meter, you pick up another one, it suddenly says like, oh, now you have 10 lives, and you've got only 1 notch in your health meter.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you take 1 hit, or in this case 2, you would suddenly like lose a life, but you'd be back to 9. The downside to this is your gun, the way it works is you pick up upgrades, and it goes up to level 4. But if you die, you go down 1 upgrade.
Okay.
And the problem is the best upgrade, like level 4 upgrade, is literally like spread shot.
Oh.
And if you're a level 3, you just got a standard machine gun. So you kind of want to keep spread shot for a lot of areas. You almost need it in certain areas. And because if you overheal to get an extra life, you take 2 hits to lose a life instead of 5. So overhealing can accidentally make you lose your power-ups and make the game harder as a result.
That, you know what? That sounds fine to me. Because it's like, well, you did it to yourself, so whatever. There you go. But yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, the other problem is they break up. Like, when you get to stage 2, you're suddenly on a jet bike.
Okay.
Which you'd think would be cool, because you're, like, flying around and suddenly it's a spaceship shooter.
I don't know. There's a lot of games that do, like, a jet bike part that I never thought were cool, so...
Well, this is one of them, because you don't have any hit stun at all, or, like, spacing between taking damage, so if an enemy is, like, sitting on top of you, you can immediately lose a life.
Oh my god, so no invincibility frames or something, or? No
invincibility frames at all.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Only on the jet bike, and, like, it sucks because you can overlap enemies, so if, like, someone pops in and you weren't paying attention, you will probably just immediately lose a life.
Wow.
That kind of cost me, like, the game my first couple runs. It took me 5 runs, maybe, to finally beat the game proper.
Really? Even, like, doing your little cheat there for lives?
I didn't figure that out till, like, run 4.
Oh, okay. So then after you figured that out, you kind of had a handle on the game anyway?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Because, like, my first run, I only got to stage 2. Yeah, I died in the bike section, so I got to stage 2. Second run, got to stage 3. Third run, got to stage 4. Fourth run, got to stage 5. Last run, got to the final boss, and died. Actually, sorry, that's a lie. I got to the section right before the final boss and died. The final boss itself is an absolute fucking joke. Because right before you fight the final boss, you fight like these 2 tanks, and then you fight a wall of turrets.
Okay, that sounds Contra-like right there.
Yeah, but it's like 15 turrets.
Okay.
That turn on like one at a time, and you have to destroy like each turret like 5 or 6 times before they stop respawning. So eventually it gets to a point where they're shooting so fast you can't hit any of them unless you stand in the way of other bullets and get hit, and then you lose your upgrades, which means you can't hit as much, which means you just get destroyed.
This sounds absolutely terrible. That doesn't sound good at all.
It's not a good game, but apparently it's made by a company that eventually went on to make Tomb Raider and other games.
Okay,
that are
like
actually
Crystal
known...
Dynamics or whatever?
No, sort of. They're a part of IDOS. They were a part of IDOS.
Gotcha. Okay. IDOS. The company everybody forgot. Well, that's not true. A lot of people still like IDOS.
Yeah, well, now they're part of Square Enix. So.
Yeah.
You're so excited about that.
Well, I used to be. They've done some silly things that annoy me, like many companies have, so it's fine. They're fine.
So they're a gaming company.
They are a gaming company. They are part of the industry of dumb shit that happens sometimes. But, yeah. Is that all you played then?
Yeah, that's it. Well, besides, like, usual Payday and Tomodachi. But...
Yeah, we played Payday. That was fun.
Payday was fun. Payday's always fun.
Well...
Lots of, well...
It's okay, mostly always fun.
When you're not stuck practicing stealthing a mission, it's
fun. Big bank, man. Jesus.
Someday we'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right, I have a list here, as I'm sure you probably noticed.
I noticed. I'm curious about a couple of these games, too.
Okay, I'm going to do my weekly check-in with EVE Online. That is still a game where you are a spaceship in space. Next game was Abyss Odyssey. I don't know what to say about EVE Online. It feels more like an MMO now than before, because there's actual...
So it's less like a spreadsheet this time?
Yeah, it's right now I'm just doing quests and waiting for timers to run out on things I'm trying to level up and all that sort of stuff. And I still have my coach Ty, that was doing Payday with us, actually. So he's still walking me through some of the stuff in that, and I've been jumping in and out when I can. I keep forgetting to go back in sometimes, and I'm losing time on my queues or whatever, but whatever. Abyss Odyssey, though, that one I had some fun with, and I kind of wasn't expecting. So have you heard anything about this game?
Which one?
Sorry, Abyss Odyssey.
The name sounds familiar, but...
Okay, I don't know, like, how many people are talking about it right now. I know there's a few reviews out and around and whatnot, but it's made by an indie Chilean developing team or whatever. I can't remember their name right now. I guess I could look it up, but I'm not going to. But it's a side-scrolling roguelite combat mechanic-focused game. That might be the best way to put it. It's basically, like, you know how a fighting game feels with different combos and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of feels like that in a 2D side-scrolling brawler with fabulous art and roguelite elements.
Demon's Crown?
I haven't played Demon's Crown or whatever. Yeah.
Or Dragon's Crown.
Sorry, yeah. The booby game. No, I haven't played that.
Yeah, you haven't played booby game. Okay.
I haven't, no. So it's probably like that. I don't know. I think the art style is really cool, though. I like the weird, like, South American Chilean stuff that's going on in it. Like, the design of the devil is basically a skeleton playing, like, classical guitar in, like, a poncho sort of thing. I don't know.
All right, that sounds cool. I'm down with it.
There's some great things about it. It feels really good as well. The basic premise is that there's a warlock at, like, down in the abyss or whatever, and he's dreaming or sleeping, and he's so powerful that his nightmares are becoming real life manifestations, and they're terrorizing the people, like, on Earth above.
Isn't this the plot of Rayman?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's the plot of Rayman Origins.
I don't know. That's amazing. Anyways, so your thing is you're one of these manifestations and you're trying to make your way down fighting things to, like, try to save the people above or whatnot. And each floor down is harder or easier depending. It kind of has a random element of the map of, like, this one's harder, this one's easier. As you go down, there's little maps that you can see to choose which path you go and stuff. There's pickups and weapon drops along the way and that whole sort of thing. But the thing I like about it is that usually with roguelike games or roguelite games or whatever you want to call them, when you die, it's over. And in this, that's not the case. When your main character dies, you now play as, like, one of the peon soldier type guys where he has a gun, but it's not very powerful because that would be too overpowered. He's slower moving and clumsier and stuff like that. But if you get to a shrine with him, you can bring your main character back. So there's, like, you can kind of try to progress a little bit. The problem is if you get killed and you're used to moving around with one character, like your main character, moving the guard around feels really terrible because he is slow and, like, it's arduous to do jumps and combos and stuff. So it's kind of like a fail state in a way, but in a way that you can actually keep continuing the game rather than just failing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool. It's like $15, I think, right now on Steam.
I saw something about it being on PS3 as well.
Is it on PS3 already? I think they're porting it.
Maybe. That's what popped up when I did a quick search for it.
Okay. I think it's worth looking at some point, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun, and also when you get down to the Warlock, that last fight is kind of weird. Fish. Lots and lots of fish. Anyways, next thing I played, I started up Dark Souls 2 again, as you know. Excuse me, my throat's getting a little dry here. So I've been playing the New Game Plus again. I got really heavily into that for about 2 or 3 nights, and I've been playing that a lot. But I've also started practicing Deathless Dark Souls runs. So YOLO
Beating
mode.
the entire game without dying.
Yeah, exactly. So
you might have a problem.
I might have a problem. So the furthest I've gotten so far in the couple hours, I think it was last night, actually, that I was doing this, is I got past the first area and beat the first boss. So...
And that was it, or is that just where you got in the run?
And then I died doing something really stupid.
Nice.
Yeah, so and then after that, after that death, I had already died about 4 or 5 times doing really bad jumps. Like the platforming quote unquote mechanics in that game are absolutely god awful, and I'm pretty sure that is what the biggest killer for me is going to be for the rest of the runs I try to do. But after that, I kind of just went to the next boss area that I was going to do and then practiced doing the quick kill on him over and over until I got it. And somebody linked me a YouTube video showing how to do the tell or whatever, that he's going to do the thing so you can do the quick kill, and it's super easy. So I think I have a good chance of getting him and maybe one other boss down. So I'm thinking next time I put in a real effort, I might be able to get 3 bosses down, Deathless. But that game is terrifying in that mode. Everything is scary, even the little guys. So, but that's been fun, I suppose. I don't know. It's just because people are calling me crazy or something. I like that game. Whatever.
I mean, if you like it, you keep playing it, but I think you're crazy to be able to, I'm going to do this entire game deathless.
There's a few parts where I'm just I don't know if this is even possible to do deathless. I know it is because I've seen, a run where someone has, but for me, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So we'll see how that goes. After that, I played some Firefall. That game that has been at every PAX for the last 15 years.
Is it out yet?
It is out. It is a free-to-play game that is out.
It's final. When did it finally come out?
I don't know, because I just saw it on Steam one day and it said a bunch of people were already playing it. So it might have been a couple weeks ago or something.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure Wiki's probably got the answer.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on there somewhere, but that is I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Okay, you know how it's kind of...
Oh, wow.
What?
Last week.
Oh, so this is relevant.
July 29th, 2014.
Oh, okay. So there you go. See, I play some new stuff too. Yeah.
What do you mean too? I assume you're saying that to Sean, because I just played 2 Game Boy games and a SNES game.
Yeah, I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to this person I've created in my head that's sitting at their keyboard being like, you only play old games, you guys, or something. It's no, my friend.
No, that's only me.
That's only John, exactly. That is kind of like Borderlands without the internet meme circle jerk writing.
Huh.
In other words, it's not very charming, in the writing.
All right, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
It's not very charming in the writing, as in it doesn't have, a real comedic sense to it. It's kind of taking itself seriously, which is never great for a game that looks kind of cartoony to me. Maybe have fun with your style a little bit, but it kind of plays the same. You do quests or whatever, you go into an area, you kill a bunch of arachnid beings and some alien humanoid, not demons, but zombie guys or something. It's basically a free-to-play Borderlands with not the good guns or decent writing. It's fine. I will play more of it. But another shooter I have been playing is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Phantoms.
Okay, I want to know about this, because I haven't heard about this up until recently, and suddenly I've been hearing a bunch about it.
It is actually surprisingly fun. Do you remember SOCOM?
Yes.
It's the same rush I'm getting that I got from SOCOM. It's team versus team sort of capture the point modes stuff where...
So it's the old Ghost Recon games, basically.
Yes, that's what it is. It's fine. It's free to play. You level up different... You have your Recon, your Assault class, and your other class or whatever, and you just level them up by playing, and that unlocks the weapons as you go, and different perks and whatnot. It has a standard military shooter stuff that's out in every game now for multiplayer, but it's a self-contained little thing that runs probably on any computer because it's kind of dumbed down graphics. I think they're trying to go for, this is free to play and we want a bunch of people playing it. Unfortunately, when I was playing it, there wasn't a whole lot of people. The grenades feel very bouncy, and that has led to a lot of team killing by accident on both sides, so that's kind of annoying. But other than that, they only give you one grenade each anyway. The shooting feels fine. The taking points and objective thing is always kind of fun to me. So, I don't know. I've been having fun with that. I've been playing a lot of free-to-play games this week.
I've kind of held off on like trying it out because I'm like, all right, well, the new Rainbow Six is coming out. Is that this year or is that next year?
I don't know. Probably next year. Actually, maybe this year. Who knows? But then, is there another Call of Duty coming out in November this year?
Yeah, Advanced Warfighters.
Okay.
Advanced Warfare, the one with Kevin Spacey.
They might be dumb if they pulled out a Rainbow Six this year then, because they'll be competing with that. Maybe next year. Like, I think they'd be better off holding off until next year early, personally, but that's just me. I like, if you wanted to download it and try it, I'd play. Like, we could do a few games or something, see how you like it.
Maybe. Because
I think it would be funner with people. As it stood, I got called, like, every name that you get called in video games online, basically, playing it, which I'm not like 10 years old anymore, so it doesn't faze me as much, but it still kind of sucks to be called terrible things every time you want to have fun. It might be fun with a few friends or something. Next game I played just today. Oh boy, Velvet Sundown.
Yeah, here we go. Here's one of the ones I wanted to hear about.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I'm going to assume, I think it's my fault.
Yeah.
You watched the Giant Bomb Quick Look.
There was a quick look?
Oh, yes. That's actually why a bunch of people are playing Velvet Sundown.
I have to watch this quick look. I was playing
really
it because it
funny.
was on the store page, and I was just like, this looks kind of weird. Okay. So the basic premise of Velvet Sundown is, in theory, this is what should happen. You log into, like, the game, and there's just a main lobby, and then there's 4 different game-type lobbies or whatever that are actually the game. A bunch of people have to be part of a lobby for a game to actually play. So you click on the one you want, which will be the free-to-play one, because God help you if you pay money to be a premium member for this piece of shit. You get loaded into the Velvet Sundown. It's a luxury yacht that's going across the Babylonian Sea or whatever the hell it was. I should know because I read it like 3 times earlier today. And each avatar in this yacht has a different thing they're trying to do. There's a total time of 20 to 30 minutes or whatever. And in that time, everybody has to accomplish, or is trying to accomplish, rather, whatever their set character objective is. So my first guy was a guy who was working for an oil firm or something like that. And I'm like a corporate spy. So I have to talk to somebody on the ship who is working for the competitors and like kind of steal their secrets and that whole sort of thing. The second time I played, I was a Hollywood starlet or something who wanted to get away from it all, but she is insecure or something. So my mission was I had to sign autographs for people. Like, I had to give them my autograph. It's basically social, like, engineering and manipulation in this little ship. But what this has devolved down into is people trying to have sex with the female avatars.
And I'll be honest, that's mainly because of Giant Bomb.
That is because of Giant Bomb?
Probably. I'm just going to say this right now. Just watch the quick look they did.
Okay.
It's Vinny and Alex, and you'll like it.
Okay, I will definitely be watching that because I love Vinny. And like Alex is better by proxy now because they're together. But oh my god, it is. I thought Yahoo and AOL chat rooms were bad back in the day for this like weird cringy cybersex bullshit. They're nothing. They're nothing compared to when you can actually have people playing an avatar and see something that they're quote-unquote talking to. It's absolutely terrifying what people are saying to you, and I will be highlighting that part of the thing I streamed and putting it up on our cringe, so look on Reddit if you want to see some of that disgusting bullshit, because that will be up there later tonight. Like, yeah, that was really gross. I've never had playing video games some guy blatantly just tell me to fuck him. Like, and be totally serious about it. And I got really creeped out and I couldn't stop laughing because it's really, really weird.
And that's where you hope you're one of the characters with the taser and then you just tase the person.
I was not, but I did get tased. Man. I did get tased in that game. So, that... Holy shit, don't waste your time. I'll tell you what the big problems with the game is, too, because in theory, it is kind of cool that if you had 6 to 8 people or whatever of like-minded individuals who wanted to play this game, like, see through the objective and do all this stuff, it could be really, really interesting and cool. Forget that nobody wants to do that and they just want to cyberfuck each other. The thing that makes this game bad is that you, like I said, you have a 20 to 30 minute timeline, like, that you have to do everything in. If there are not people in your server, or if they disconnect or whatever, their character avatar heads just kind of like, they put their hand up to their head and they look down a little bit, like they have a bad headache, and they just stand like a statue like that. So if they leave, you can't play anything because it's all about the social engineering aspect.
See, that to me would be like, oh, well, maybe they'll be able to rejoin, or someone else will rejoin and take that person's slot.
It gets better.
Uh-oh.
They can do that. People cannot take their spot, however, but they can rejoin. In fact, let's say you're in a server with 6 people and they all disconnect except for one other person. You don't want to play this anymore. You want to jump out. You cannot get out of a server. You are stuck in that server for the full 20 to 30 minutes allotted to you. If you close down the game completely and restart it, you will be thrown back into that scenario until that 20 minutes of real time is up.
Wait, what?
Okay, so I'm standing on the starboard of the ship looking out at the sea wanting to kill myself because my game's essentially over and I have 15 minutes left, right? So I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll be a brilliant scientist here. I will close my game and then restart it, and I will start anew. The minute you restart the game, you just get a loading bar, and you are loaded right back looking on the starboard of the thing, and it's 14 minutes left. You can't get out. You are jailed on this fucking ship.
Does that apply to everyone else who gets
It
disconnected
applies to
too?
everybody else, because another dude that was with me when this was happening came back after like 5 minutes and was like, I tried to leave and came back and I'm still here, dude. I'm like, I know. We're trapped. That game's a piece of garbage.
No one escapes the ship.
It's a piece of garbage because it doesn't waste your money. It wastes your time, which is more valuable, probably.
Probably.
So,
I don't. It seemed like it'd be like a fun thing to run through for free with a bunch of like-minded people. So.
Yeah. Like if we got together a group of like 6 people, that could be actually really fun, especially if we were on like a Skype program or something together. That could be kind of great.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, it would be for the lulz because that game is stupid. It's just dumb.
Pretty much. The voice, the text-to-speech is probably one of the funnier parts.
Yeah. Other than that, I played 100% Orange Juice.
And this is another one I was curious about. I've heard this described to me as Dokapon Kingdom, basically, but
Sure.
nicer.
Nicer?
Nicer is into the players.
Okay. It's a card-based fighting puzzle game. Not puzzle, board game, rather.
So it's Concept Saga?
I don't know what Concept Saga is. Okay, so there's 4 players, right? You're on this board and you're moving around like you would in like Monopoly or something like that. There's squares. And depending on which square you go to, you can either like pick a card or you can get into like a fight with something, so on and so forth. If you pass another player, you can choose to fight them or not. Fighting a player and taking them down to 0 health will make it so they have to do basically a saving throw, where it's like they have to roll over a 5, and then the next turn, if they don't do that, they'll have to roll over a 4, over a 3, and so on. So they'll eventually get back up. But what it does is it limits how many times they go around and get points, which in this game is stars. So like Mario Party reference, I guess. And the way you like have power-ups and do stuff is you have cards that you like hold basically, and you can use them for fights or for moving around the board or whatnot. It's charming. It's Japanese. Like, it's super Japanese. So if you like Japanese things, and you should because racism is bad, you'll probably like it. It's not bad.
You can...
Yes.
I'm trying to process that sentence you just said.
You just say. This is why we don't do this late at night, ladies and gentlemen. because neither one of us has a brain right now.
You know what the best part is? Like, some people were commenting that I look a little like out of it. It's because I actually have nothing to stare at. Because Paul can see me, I can't see Paul.
Yeah. Oh, that was part of our technical difficulties crash course we went through. The video just started not working when I had tweeted out that we're about to go live too. Like, everything broke tonight. It's all broken.
Pretty much.
But you know what isn't broken? 100% orange juice available now. That game's fine. There's not a whole lot to say about it. It's one of the games that, like a board game, you would play with your friends because playing against a computer isn't very fun. So, yeah, that's all I have.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the news then.
Yeah, let's start off with my favorite. I was super excited when I saw this. Resident Evil HD Remaster. A remaster of a remake.
Remaster.
It's so good. It's so good. Of course Capcom would do it.
Capcom would be the first company to do something like that.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was a little weird and gauche when The Last of Us was coming remastered, not even like a year after its initial release. This is way more weird to me for some reason, because for one thing, that game still looks fantastic on the GameCube.
But you got to keep in mind, it's probably hard to find a copy of that now. Well, I guess there's the Wii.
Well, I mean, there's one on my shelf right back there.
Well, what about all the people in the chat? Can they borrow your copy?
Yes, everybody give me your address and a check for $20, and you can borrow my copy for 1 week.
What is this, PlayStation Now?
I'll tell you, it would be faster service. That is a legitimate hand clap I deserved. That's not even a sarcastic one, and you know
earned
it.
that one.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
It's a very Capcom thing to do.
Yes, it is.
I don't think anyone's gonna deny that. I think it's cool because it's mainly coming to Xbox One and PS4, which, I mean, there's no Resident Evil stuff currently planned,
and PC.
so why not? Oh, and PC.
Yep, PC is slated for next year.
So basically, PC only doesn't have Resident Evil 2 and 3 now, and I think there was actually a PC version of 2. Like, way back in the day. So I think 3...
You might be right.
I think 3 and Code Veronica are the only ones not on PC now.
You know, 3 gets shit on a lot because it's not the other bigger ones. I like it. It's okay.
I thought people liked 3. I didn't know people hated 3.
I don't know if they hate it. They just forget it. Like, they just forget it exists, I feel. But it had zombies. It had Jill in a tube top. Whatever.
It had Nemesis.
Stars. That's all he said.
It had Barry. Sort of.
Wait.
Depending on...
What? Oh, like it had his, like, journal entries or something, right?
No, Barry's actually in the game.
Where? I don't remember this at all.
No, like one of the endings is like Barry saves you. I thought, or am I confusing
Oh, like
this?
he drops the weapon for you or something?
I think he picks you up in the chopper at the end.
Does he pick you up in the chop? It's been a while. Okay, so like I said, I'm a Resident Evil fan, and it's still the one I forgot.
Confession time, I have not beaten Resident Evil 1 and 3. I've beaten 2, 4, 5. Haven't beaten 6.
I think you could say 2, 4, and up from there, maybe.
I guess.
Maybe one day we could play 6 or something.
Yeah, but I've played 1 and 3.
Okay.
I think Code Veronica is the only one I haven't played.
Ever?
I might have. I remember if you start in a room that's on fire, that might be it. I think I turned it on to test that the copy worked. I got it for Dreamcast.
It's good. I do like that one. It has some weird things to it that feel weird, like dual wielding guns. There's a gun you can hold that you dual wield. It's weird. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited because more Resident Evil is fine. I'm not excited because Dolphin Emulator exists, and I've been playing this in HD for a long time. Whatever.
But now it's even more HD.
They know... Okay, so the Capcom with Resident Evil and Konami with... Well... Silent
no,
Hill,
not Silent
Metal
Hill.
Gear, Castlevania, they have my money. Like, those franchises, they know they have my money. So I will buy this. I will pay for it.
I will probably buy this too, even though I have the GameCube one like right behind me.
Can everybody on the internet borrow yours?
Fuck no.
See?
Hey, I'm the one who said I don't have a problem with it.
I told you, I'm the good one.
I told you I had no problem with them re-releasing it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It also makes sense because they're not kind of sure what they're gonna do with the series from here on out.
Yeah.
So why not re-release like the first one to get people reacquainted with the series?
See, my thing is, why not remake the second finally, the one that people know and love? I don't. You know what? They might. Maybe this is them being like, no, we're totally gonna do that on like all platforms, but we gotta start with this now for all the people that were like 5 when this came out, which makes me feel old.
It is a very old series at this point.
It is a very, very old series. OG 96 represent.
Oh man, it was nice. I thought it was earlier than that for some reason.
I think it was actually maybe on the Saturn. In Japan.
No. It started in the first game was I think PS1 first.
That might be right.
But it was like launch title practically, so that's why I think it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't know why I thought 94. It couldn't be 94. Yeah, you're right. It's 96, but March 96.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so
here's a telling thing about the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
Latest release: Resident Evil 4 Ultimate HD Edition, February 27th.
that is Capcom in a nutshell, in a title right there.
Ultimate HD Edition.
Yep. Ultimate HD Turbo Edition.
I'm waiting for it.
The zombies have rocket shoes.
Waiting for it.
It'd be so good. Everything moves way faster, except for you, because that's the horror.
So, Paul, I'm going to ask you, did you get Resident Evil 6 on PS3?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you get the archives version that came with all 6 Resident Evil games?
Probably
core
not,
games,
because
I
I got it digitally. I didn't want to go to a store.
Oh, okay. So if you bought the collector's edition of Resident Evil 6, you got, or at least for PS3, you got every core Resident Evil game. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And Code Veronica.
Okay, so real talk, I already own them on every platform they're available
I know,
on.
I'm just stating, that was actually like probably the coolest thing about 6.
That is really cool. That is, that's the best thing they've ever done.
Yeah, the funny thing is, if you got it on 360, you got 4, Code Veronica, 5, and 1 of the live-action movies.
Which one? The first one, probably?
Whatever was like the most recent one at the time, so like the 4th one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because Capcom.
You wouldn't even understand what's going on without at least seeing, like, the second one.
That's why it made sense for the PS3, because they could just give them like the digital downloads for like the digital PS1 versions.
I'm getting salty. I'm getting super salty, Capcom.
Why are you getting salty about that, of all things? Capcom makes weird decisions.
Just what Capcom...
Like news at 11.
That's why I'm getting salty, because I'm sick of their shit. You know what else I'm sick of?
Yeah.
Twitch.
Wow, what a segue.
He said broadcasting on Twitch.tv.
/ top-down perspective.
Oh, we're gonna get banned. So Twitch got they pissed off a lot of people. They kicked the hornet's nest.
Oh man, did they ever.
Okay, first of all, did they do it or did Google, do you think, implement these changes?
It's not known.
Okay.
But based on talk, it looks like these were willing decisions made by Twitch.
Well, you work for Twitch, right? So can you give us some details?
Oh, well, I'll just go ask my handler right now. And
handler.
Real talk about this. They said in their discussions that it was voluntary choices, and it makes sense that these things would happen, or at least the primary thing about the copyright issues, because they're becoming a big company, and because the same thing completely fucked over YouTube for years. So if they're just getting a position where they can try to deal with it, it makes sense. But people have brought valid counter responses to that, because there are things they could have done that were a bit more tactful.
Yeah,
But I think the general consensus does seem to be, from people who have completely thought through the procedure and not just knee-jerk reacting, is that the implementation's too sloppy for something Google related.
Yeah.
Google Plus aside.
Yeah. Like, don't even get me started on Google right now. Google, I love you. I love you like the father I never had. But what the fuck, man? Why can't I start a Google Live Hangout thing? What the fuck?
This is going to make no sense to the audio people. I'm sorry. Anyone listening to just the audio, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. So my stance here is that I knew this was coming because something had to be done. I did not know they would use Audible Magic, which is kind of notorious for just carpet bombing copyright things like this.
For those who don't know, Audible Magic is one of the aggregate music companies that YouTube uses to do copyright strikes.
Or used. I don't know if they still do. I'm not sure.
I think they're still considered with. I don't know.
It could be maybe with a change to the algorithm they use or
they
something.
They were one of the crummier ones supposedly.
Yeah. So the thing that got my attention with this, and that I still kind of love, even though it's like one of those sour grape things, is the fact that Valve got their TI4 archives muted for using music, or like for the algorithm spotting music in Dota, which they own.
Yeah.
That's so good. That is just so great.
Someone was going around saying, this was also another rumor, if a song was on Spotify or SoundCloud,
yeah,
then Audible would have fuck over anyone who tried to use it on Twitch. That's how the producers of Crypt of the Necrodancer got their own streams muted as well.
Oh, really?
And how Twitch themselves had a number of their streams muted.
So the implementation had to be. Well, it didn't have to be done like this. Something had to be done about this issue because, hey, guess what? We're grown up now, you guys. Like, we are no longer. I can't even remember the name. I was going to give a shout out to like the crummiest little shitbox fucking streaming service I've ever found on the internet, but I can't remember the name of it right now. And no, it's not Hitbox because I like Hitbox, so whatever. It's something completely unrelated. It's like a WordPress site or something that for streamers.
Gamefire or something.
Like not even. I think it's German. You know what? It doesn't matter.
Well, okay.
It doesn't matter what it's called. The point of the matter is that we're no longer these little like ragtag fucking things. We have money from Google. We have eyeballs everywhere. Supposedly have money from Google. We have
There's
eyeballs.
Still no official confirmation on the buyout.
People are gonna get pissed now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they are.
No, pissed. I mean, people are gonna get pissed if their music they're not making money off their music. Like, we have to grow up with this stuff a little bit. What I don't agree with is, hey, let's do this and just tell a few people via email and just kind of fuck the rest and mute everything. We're good. Like, miscommunication a go-go. This is some terrible business they're doing right here.
Yeah, it could have been handled a lot better.
And I don't know if you saw, on Reddit, there was an AMA with the Twitch CEO.
Yeah, I saw some of it. I was reading some of it.
That dude comes off like the biggest fucking idiot I've ever seen. Does he not have a PR department to do this shit for? There's a reason why you don't talk to Obama at Obama or whatever on Twitter. Because people that run stuff usually have a mind not good for talking with people. You have to hire people to talk with people. All his stuff came out with was basically like, sorry, it was a miscommunication. I really don't like that because if I don't like flip-flopping. That's kind of what my thing is, like, or this apology thing. I would have kind of liked it for him to be like, this is the realities of doing business on the internet when you're getting as big as we are. This is what has to happen. I'm sorry if you don't like it. There are other streaming sites available to you. Like, just show some conviction, maybe, is what I'm getting.
So you wanted him to basically own up to what happened?
I want him to be like, I made this decision. Like, I'm the one who signed off on this. Like, it's not perfect. We're working on it. If you can't, handle this transition period with us, there are other solutions available to you, and we're sorry to see you go. I don't want him saying, yeah, we just didn't communicate it to you guys, sorry. That just seems really weak to me. I don't mind. it's easier for me to respect somebody if they have a conviction about what they did, even if I don't like what they did, than somebody who's just like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, well. That's my stance.
I don't know. Based on the answers I saw, like, I'll agree with you on, like, the just having a one sentence saying you're sorry comes off as a little cheap. But, like, they did seem like they were kind of like, all right, we're still sticking with it. Like, we are willing to discuss certain things and fix certain things, but the gist of things that has happened will stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one note you even have in the podcast notes is that they actually changed their mind on the 2-hour highlight thing. And now they're back to having, like, no limit, which is a major issue that the speedrunning community had, which is now fixed.
Yeah, Cosmo wasn't too happy about that.
Oh, man, did you read Cosmo's post on that AMA?
Well, I mean, it was the only one that was like a book and not just fuck you. So, yeah.
That too.
Yeah, no, I read that. And then the link he included where it's like, this is basically a Zelda speedrun, like the fastest one's 5 hours almost. So it's like, yeah, we need more than 2 hours. We just do. So that is being addressed, and they're also putting out the appeal button for VODs that people feel might have been flagged.
Here is the thing that was actively bothering me, because they should have had that in place at the same time.
Right? That is a weird thing to say. We finally updated this. It's like, no, that's not how you do stuff. You allow people the right to claim when they're being wronged.
They at least did it within 24 hours.
Sure.
But that should have been there from minute 1.
Sure. Twitch, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I'm excited to see what becomes of this. I will say, as somebody who has used Hitbox in the past and continues to every now and then, it was weird seeing more than like 200 people on at one time, ever. That place was not big, and now it is suffering from people going to it. So, I don't know. I'm sure they are just absolutely loving it and creaming their pants this whole time. They are seeing more traffic in a few days than Hitbox has seen in a couple months.
Mm.
So, I'm sure they're loving it, but we'll see what happens. What do you think? What do you think about this whole everybody abandon ship, it's going down sort of attitude we've been having as an internet lately?
This is not gonna bring Twitch down, honestly. This is a growing pain. As someone who had to go through this exact same fucking thing with YouTube, and I'll even say, while Twitch handled it worse, YouTube didn't handle it much better. This is kind of just a necessary evil of doing content on the internet at this point. So, unfortunately, like, it just has to deal with it. A lot of people were hoping that Twitch would be, like, the place to stand up against, like, all the old copyright holders and, like, all right, this is new media. We need to discuss changes with, like, copyright law because it's super outdated for what we have.
They should have been.
No.
You don't think so?
They wouldn't have won. I'll be honest, they wouldn't have won.
You might be right about that, but it would be nice to have a bastion of somebody that's big enough to do that out there.
I can guarantee you this is what would happen. If Twitch was like, no, we're not going to fall for the copyright thing, Viacom would have been on their ass immediately, and in a couple months, Twitch would be gone.
Yeah, you might be right.
As it stands, half of YouTube's problems that content producers have now are solely because Viacom literally froze YouTube from hiring people for 3 years. And they've been playing catch-up ever since.
That's rough.
So, I think, sadly, if Twitch wanted to continue existing at the growth rate it was, like, having lately, it had to do this, which is a sad, sad state of affairs, but they had to do it. You're not going to see any company make any, like, hedgeway on copyright laws unless it's something the size of Google. Yeah. And I don't think Google's going to do it.
I don't think they're ready for it. They have too much money in the AdSense stuff. Like,
they'd lose all their money that way.
Yeah. And
then there's the whole idea of they're already fighting battles with net neutrality, which is already taking up a lot of their resources that they would be using for that. The political landscape and of the internet is garbage right now. And then, like I said,
Yeah.
sadly, this is a thing with Twitch. Twitch kind of made the best decision they could make in the situation they had. It was handled poorly. No one is going to deny that.
Yeah.
But I think, sadly, it is their best case scenario.
I knew this was going to happen as soon as I heard that fucking con was coming out. That Dash Con.
Yep,
as soon as you
DashCon.
give Tumblr a little bit of power, Twitch dies, people. Ugh. Anyways, I have nothing more to say about this, and there isn't much more to say unless more news comes out about it, which we'll probably try to keep up on. I mean, we will definitely keep up on because the Twitters will explode as soon as more stuff comes out about it. They handled it poorly. They're feeling the pissed off nature of the internet that people have felt before.
So many of my friends are like, I'm going to stream on Hitbox now.
Tell your friends to stop killing the site I love. Tell them to stop taking the servers down. It's annoying.
Is like the Hitbox is not prepared for the load it's getting from Twitch right now, is it?
Right now it is buckling, but it hasn't broken. There are cracks forming. But you also have to remember this Twitch thing happened within a period of 48 hours from when we're talking right now.
That's also true, yeah.
So they have to set up.
I don't know. I don't think running away is the answer.
It's not. Absolutely not.
But there's nothing wrong with trying out alternatives. I just know that I'm not going to change because I'm not going to go to another site because I knew this was going to happen.
Sure.
This was expected, so.
And I will flip-flop because I am not partnered and I have no loyalty to anyone. Except for you, the viewer.
Oh, okay.
I have loyalty to them.
But seriously, though, like I said, this is a necessary evil of the internet, and it's something I've already dealt with once, so it's like, oh, fuck, here we go again.
Yeah, no. And I don't know. You know what? The best thing that might come of this is there might be enough people leaving Twitch to make Hitbox competition, and competition for the consumers is always great.
No, this is good. If Twitch is not the only show in town, if something else is suddenly of the strength of Twitch or like close to it, that's really good. Because we don't have that for YouTube.
Yes.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. So
that if anything that has come out of the situation, that is a good thing.
That's right. I guess like we'll move on right after I make this last point. The whole reason this is in our show notes right now is how do I put this delicately? This has been just a way to beat around the subject of you should follow me on hitbox.tv/exposure. So next next news thing we have, the rest of these are actually Sean's.
Yeah, I can tell by the writing style.
And I was just like, damn, he really wants us to talk about, like, I guess he finds this stuff interesting. So for you, Sean, we will talk about that MK8 Mercedes-Benz DLC is out August 27th.
Dude, he's really excited about Mario Kart 8 Mercedes-Benz driving.
Is he?
Kind of, ironically.
It's kind of cool. Like, not cool. It's kind of dumb in a cool way.
I know, but that's why. And it also comes with, like, an actual update to the game.
He does love that game.
Does he?
He seems to.
I didn't think he was super into Mario Kart 8.
Yeah. So MK8 Mario Kart 8 Mercedes-Benz DLC out August 27th. That's basically his news thing, and then he links to a giant bomb video.
Jeez.
So
I think he just likes the video of them driving around in Mercedes-Benz doing stunts.
I mean, I guess I could just like do some copyright infringement of myself and like throw up that video on the stream, and we're done for the night or something. But
that's it, everybody. We're offline.
But instead, I'll talk about how Assassin's Creed Rogue is announced.
And this was the second of the Assassin's Creed games that were for this year?
Okay, so I don't like Assassin's Creed games. I know nothing about this at all. This is the one, I think I heard about this one, though. Isn't this the one that they're releasing only for Xbox 360 and PS3?
I think.
That could be kind of cool, right, for people that like this series, because it's hardware these people have been using for years now, so they could just make one really good last hurrah on it. maybe.
Yeah, it says the article that we've got linked in the doc says, yeah, Ubisoft confirmed Rogue this morning through a Game Informer cover story. You'll play as a Templar named Shay and sail across the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, visiting New York among other locations during the 7 Years' War. And it is for last-gen consoles. Only PS3 and Xbox 360 confirmed.
Yeah.
Sorry, PC and Wii U.
Yeah, so there you go. If you have one of those, you might get the best Assassin's Creed game available. I don't know, whatever.
And it comes out Remembrance Day for you Canadians.
For us Canadians, I'll have you know.
I know. Last I checked, I was Canadian.
Last you checked, which was when? A couple years ago.
When I picked up this dime with the blue note on it.
I thought for some reason that you're just going to be like, when I picked up this passport, and it's just like, give your ID for everyone on the internet to see.
I always have to say when I check my passport, but then just show this Luigi hat I've been holding.
You know, my passport. It's
my
me,
passport.
John. What's there an L? I don't know.
There's an L in my last name. I mean, it works.
Wheeler.
Yes. The L was the most noticeable character in my entire name. Nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay, System Shock 3 is coming out.
Ooh.
That could be interesting, right? Like, I'm a little excited about that.
Is it going to have Shodan in it again? Dude, I can't imagine, like, a Shodan in, like, a current gen.
It would be great. I will tell you what we were linked by Sean in this news story.
Oh my god.
It is a thread in NeoGAF where one dude is saying Ken Levine is working on System Shock 3 for PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360. More info soon, to be released 2015. Then there is a Twitter link in that post that no longer exists. So I'm wondering if this was a rumor.
No, dude, even better. Read what they changed the thread title to. Nibble successfully pranks RPG site, fact-checking rare in modern society.
Oh my god, Sean, what did you do?
Sean fell for it.
No,
amazing.
See, this is what I'm thinking, is that he saw that, and he was just like, oh, I'm going to get them. If I'm not there, I'm going to show how dumb they really are. And he's kind of right, because I just clicked on the link and talked about it. So, whatever. Sorry, guys. That's not true. That was an elaborate ruse that Sean Booker has been working on for 5 years.
No, I'm pretty sure Sean fell for it and didn't actually read the entire thing.
Yeah. I like that the title was changed in the thread as well. That's pretty great. White Xbox One bundle with Sunset Overdrive confirmed. Yeah. Are you excited for Sunset Overdrive?
Yeah, but I mean, all the demos I've seen are just like, oh, here's multiplayer. I'm like, no, I don't. That's not what I care about.
No, I don't care about multiplayer. I hate people.
I kind of do.
I know.
Totally do. No. If I'm multiplayer with people I like, and like people I can get along with.
I like co-op more so myself.
Yeah, like I like being able to be in a Skype chat with people who aren't just gonna say like, be a 13-year-old who insults you and talks about how they had sex with your mother.
You know what? If I listen to the internet, damn, Mom, why you be fucking all these 11-year-olds?
Mom, that's illegal. Stop it.
What are you doing? Oh, man. Bioshock on iOS later this summer is the next thing he linked here. And I don't know how I feel about Bioshock on an iOS device because I don't have iOS, but I have Bioshock on Steam, and I played it way too much to care about it anymore, personally. That's me. What do you think?
It's a really good game. I don't mind more people getting a chance to play it. Doesn't affect me if they do or don't play it.
Do you think that's what this sort of thing is? Is it like them wanting more eyes on it so we port it to the device everybody has, or is it a money grab for everybody that knows what this is will pay for it again? Or both?
It's both.
Why not both?
It's easily both.
Okay.
Keep in mind, who is announcing that this is happening? It can't be Ken Levine's company because it barely exists anymore.
2K.
Yeah, so it's 2K. So it's a money grab.
It's a money grab. Okay. I'm totally fine with money grabs as long as people kind of admit it. So, yeah, okay. That's fine. Last but not least, he has here, Nintendo announces Mirisama Castle, whatever that is, he puts, and a retail version bundle of both NES remakes.
Sean does so much looking up of things. Mirisama Castle is actually the precursor to The Legend of Zelda.
Yes, it is.
It is basically the game that led to how The Legend of Zelda, at least the original NES game, was, and the reason we have the Legend of Zelda series. It only came out in Japan. We never got it. But there are small references to it throughout other games, such as, if you have Nintendo Land, the Ninja Castle minigame is based off of this, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's actually cool that we're getting this. You're basically getting like a precursor to Zelda.
It is real cool. I agree. And also the Famicom Remix 1 and 2. What do you think? Excited?
I'm not going to buy it because I already have them both.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't, there you go.
You know what? If you don't, I actually recommend it because, you know what? NES Remix 1 and 2 are really good.
2 is good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. 2 is good.
And 1 has a few okay things.
And the features you unlock by owning the first one, as a result, in 2, are good.
Ice Climbers is so fucking bad.
Oh my god, don't even remind. And Pinball. Pinball's worse than I remember.
Okay, how the fuck? Like, pinball is completely just like random chance, right?
Sort of, yes.
How the fuck are you supposed to get some of those rainbow coins or medals or whatever?
You want to know something?
Yeah.
When I was at Emil's place in May for a recording session,
yeah,
we rainbow starred all of NES Remix 1 and 2.
Just because of luck?
No, we actually sat down and just did it all. The three of us.
Oh, because of stubbornness.
That too.
That's the gamer version of luck.
Funny enough, like, it took Tim and myself to do the majority of like NES Remix 1, but all three of us had no problem with NES Remix 2. We were done like rainbowing NES Remix 2 in like one day. We did it crazy fast.
Yeah, well, it's because the games that we actually grew up with and know very well.
Yeah, that too.
So, yeah, no, for sure. Okay, that is it for news. So let's go on to
emails.
If you want to write in, facebook.com/topdownperspective, or why don't you send a tweet? Send a tweet our way to TDP Podcast.
Please tweet us.
Or
please.
What about snail mail? Snail mail we don't really have. I'm not going to give you my freaking address, but you can email us at topdownperspective@gmail.com.
I want to see someone actually try to snail mail us a question.
I will give my address out.
Dude, I have just send it to my P.O. box. I have an actual P.O. box.
That reminds me, I remember when you were talking about getting a P.O. box, my first thought is, I'm going to make people just send the dumbest shit to me through it.
I have received things for other people in it.
Oh, okay. Well, because like you go to the cons and meet up with them and stuff. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for people that don't have their own. Sure. Yeah, see, send your mail to John's P. You can send a letter to John's P.O. box, or you can just send anything you want, like bills, flyers. You can send whatever you want.
Out-of-date coupons, why not?
If you like,
I did get mailed a death threat once.
If you, like sign up for a forum or something.
No.
You can use that as your address.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. People actually sign up for different websites using my email address.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots and don't realize that because it's my email address, I can just disable their account.
Of course. Like, they're so dumb. Oh, man.
I had to do that for a blogging site because it was like a weird random gibberish nickname or that was using like some Devious or something like that, some like blogging site. I'm like, all right, log in, change password, disable account, gone. If you're going to be stupid enough to do that, I'm going to fuck with you as much as I can.
If you're stupid enough to ask a question, send it to topdownperspective@gmail.com.
Yes, that's where I was going with it.
Okay, we'll start off with Twitter as we do. Foul Marshmallow on Twitter. What are your thoughts on games like Monster Hunter, where there is lots of online content but no PvP? It's all teamwork. I love it. It's my favorite type of game.
Yeah, I'm really down with like online co-op games. That's probably why we played Payday so much.
That is definitely why I play Payday so much. Yeah. Like, you might play it because, you like the gameplay because you're good. I just like the interactions with people, so whatever. Okay, Meowth900. I want Hyrule Warriors because of that pre-order scarf. Were there any games you wanted for extra things that came with it?
The Mirror's Edge bag, which is what I use for,
Mm-hmm.
like, as my actual like laptop bag and stuff.
The Batman statue from Arkham City?
City, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Asylum was the Batarang.
Right. Yes, it was. I like statues and dumb little knickknacks. It's hell for when you move a lot. It's the worst, but I like that sort of stuff. I feel like there was something else I had in mind, but I can't remember what it is right now.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came with a DK tie.
That's pretty good. That's
That is
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah. Jesus. I can't think of anything else. Anything that comes with like an art book or something is totally fine by me too. Because if I pre-order a game, it's probably because I know I'm going to like it, so I like looking at the art stuff as well. And also I like to pre-order Blizzard games because it usually gives you a bunch of free dumb digital shit anyway, and I know I'm gonna buy it anyways because I am firmly on the crotch of Blizzard.
At least you admit it.
I'm not getting off. That was too much information, but it
That-
wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't meant to be.
Which way are we going to take that one?
That could be turned to whatever. Quill J1 on Twitter. What game from E3 was the most innovative? I'll throw this to you because I still have not seen anything out of E3.
That Smash Brothers game is pretty innovative. You press the B button and you do moves. I'm trying to actually think of what would be considered the most innovative, because the problem is, like, most of the games that would be considered innovative aren't out yet, or like or just in like small like demos that you could barely tell.
Small potatoes.
Because I'm thinking back, like, and most stuff that would be considered innovative would be either like the stuff using Sony's like VR helmet or the Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, otherwise most of the games are just like, okay, here's like a cool different way of game playing.
Like,
the exact
here's
same
this
way,
game again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's every E3. Let's be serious.
I'll be honest, I can't answer that question.
Yeah. The thing is, innovation will never really be shown at a trade show. It will always just pop out of nowhere, and people will love it or hate it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Okay. Foxjock on Twitter. How do you feel about the Twitch content ID new policy? I think we kind of went over that. But
We covered that one pretty well.
yeah, so rewind. Foul Marshmallow. What game do you think has a dark side we don't know about with lots of murder, drugs, sex, trafficking, and alcohol? I'll tell you what game that is. It's Velvet Sundown.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, what the fuck? Second Life.
Yes. That's legitimately a scary game because of the people on it. PlayStation Home has some really weird stuff going on with the community as well, but or like, do you think he means like
I see what you're
Jack
saying,
and Daxter are actually like running an underage porn ring?
Final Fantasy VIII, Squall's actually dead.
I really like that theory. I don't know. I think I subscribe to it because I want to believe. I just want to believe he's dead. Is that so much?
I would say too dark for a Final Fantasy game, but 7.
They're all really dark in weird ways too.
Yeah.
Like, some of the political stuff in some of the other ones are really weird.
The whole deal with the second half of 6.
Like, anytime there's a giant war that eliminates people, basically. Yeah, I don't know. There's some weird shit going on in there that they don't want to bring to the surface. Okay. Michael for the win on Twitter asks, what signature move would you like to be known for? Example, Captain Falcon and the Falcon Punch. You cannot use that example.
I assume that's not the idea. I think they're saying, like, if you had like an in-game move, what would it be?
Mm.
So like for me, it would be like the ability to glitch a game.
Okay.
Because I seem to glitch games very easily at this point.
The ability to not give a fuck.
We're changing Paul's name to Unui.
The ability to love all of you listening to this right now.
Aww. Which implies that you can't do that at the moment.
Foxy the Kid asks, thoughts on 100% games such as getting all the achievements for an Xbox title or collecting all the collectibles in-game. As I've discussed before, I'm not a fan of that thing, but they're fine.
I usually do that within reason. I think the achievements are probably the only spot where I actually draw the line. But, like, I'll get certain achievements. But, like, the Gears of War, like, kill 1 million players online, I will never get.
I think when you and I started talking, you were working on platinuming Uncharted.
Yes, Uncharted 1, yeah.
That was a while ago, but I remember some of those. I didn't want to do some of the stuff in that.
That is one of my 2 platinums.
What's the other one?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
I think one of mine for sure was Resident Evil 5 until they added a bunch of DLC. And after that, I don't know.
I've got a bunch of like full-blown gamer scores on like 360, but like because I barely own any PS3 games compared to my 360 collection.
Sure. I don't think I have one. Well, besides like the arcade games for 200, I don't think I have a full 1,000 for 360 because I didn't play it as much. Okay. Blue Knight 85. What do you all think of the new Digimon All-Star Rumble game? What is a Digimon?
It's a digital monster, and they are the champions.
I was going to say that part, but okay. I knew what it was.
I knew. That's why I'm just like, I'm going to say it first.
That was like when we were doing the DuckTales retro kill screen. Had to say
God.
woohoo every time.
Oh. And then you would pause for it every time, too. It was so good.
Yeah. I don't know about this, but it sounds like for Digimon fans, it will be a revolution in gaming.
If it wasn't for the fact that there's already like 4 games in that series.
Again, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of Smash Brothers-esque Digimon games, so doesn't surprise me.
And they're all cool?
I've heard they're all right. I've never played any of them.
Oh, okay.
I don't own any of them, so.
Okay.
But I've heard they're all right Smash Brothers-esque games.
Oh, Smash Brothers, like, okay, I guess that makes sense. So it's like the PlayStation All-Stars type thing then.
Kinda, yeah. But more like Smash Brothers than All-Stars was.
Okay. KOKen54, do you feel Sims 4 will live up to the hype, or will the cut features stop you and others from getting it? As soon as they called it Sims 4, they stopped me from buying that game, so I'm not.
Why? What did they have to call it to get your attention?
I was just gonna say Velvet Sundown again. I'm giving that game way more attention than I want.
Yeah, I know. You were upset about that game. Now you're just like, I'm gonna bring it up every couple of minutes
because it's kind of funny. It's just really awkward. I don't know, but is there hype for Sims games? There must be, right? Still,
there is, just not in our usual audience.
Sure. Okay.
Or and not the usual amount of usual people we know. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 people excited for Sims. I know a couple people excited for Sims 4.
Yeah, like my girlfriend will be excited.
Yeah.
So sure. I forget. She's a person. Psychotic Gex on Twitter.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on the current
I'm glad you recorded that, Paul.
I've said worse things because I am a piece of shit. Psychotic Gex asks, what are your thoughts on the current games that are coming out this year?
I'll buy them.
Yeah. Just put that on the label for Proton John. I'll buy them 2014.
That is the best glowing review you'll ever get of any game that comes out this year. I'll buy it. Might even play it.
Probably not.
2 years down the road, maybe. You never know.
Like, eventually, yes. Just not this year. Dior Temimerp. I feel like an idiot. Dior Temimerp. on Twitter asks, have either of you played Monster Hunter, and are you excited for Monster 4 Ultimate? I have not.
I tried learning 3 solo, did not fully get into it.
Sure. We got a last-minute question on Twitter that I'm just going to answer for this guy, because it's kind of like you have it everywhere. Mm-hmm. John, I've always wanted to know what the SA in your username stood for. Something awful.
Yeah, it's written in the description of my YouTube page.
Yeah.
And, actually, no, yeah, probably just the YouTube page at this point.
That's why I was just like, I'll just answer this one. Fuck.
Appreciate it.
There you go. PR for Proton John. That's why I'm here at 12 o'clock at night.
It's funny. Someone was actually telling me, like, you need to get a PR person. Like, do I really?
They're basically saying, you suck with people, bro.
No, well, because I think we were talking about the Switch thing, and they're just like, they need PR people. Like, you should get a PR person, too. It'd be great.
It would be great.
I don't think I need one yet.
Yet? It's like, oh, man. The day you need one, that is going to be amazing for me. I'm going to bug the shit out of them. Okay. We got one on Facebook.
All right.
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the current generation of gaming devices as of now? Wii U, 3DS, PS4, PS Vita, and X1. That's a pretty loaded big question, but I'm going to say I like the 3DS to take with me places, and I kind of like the PC for playing everything else.
I like all the consoles, but I find myself always playing the 3DS compared to any of the other ones. There's the games I legitimately own on the Vita that I would love to play, but I just don't because I'm playing my 3DS. And I'm not home often enough to console game very well, for very long at least, so the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U all kind of gather dust.
Oh man, Dior Repis, the guy I couldn't, pronounce. Or whatever. His name is Super Metroid backwards. I needed a mirror to read it. Or, he just told me. He's in the chat right now.
Yeah, I can see him there.
Okay, so we got a bunch of emails, too. It was a week of questions here. Do we say the names?
You can just say the first name if you want.
Henry asks, what is your worst/least favorite moment in one of your favorite games?
Worst moment in one of your favorite games?
Mm-hmm.
When they end.
That is a cop-out answer, but I
know
like it.
I know it is. That's why I'm trying to think of a
I
answer.
like it. There's I'm just trying to think of what one of my favorite games is first of all, and then we can kind of go from there.
Alma in the first 3D Ninja Gaiden. Just fuck that fight. Okay.
For the most part, trying to go back to the control scheme of the original Resident Evil after it's been years since I played it.
Ooh, that too.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's like riding a bike that when you've done it for a little bit again, you're used to it and it's second nature, but getting to that point is really tough. I guess Metal Gear Solid has a few parts that, the cutscenes kind of get boring for me. After a while, until it became 4, and then the cutscenes were just full of weird, dumb shit. Let's go on here. Thomas asks, hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. Okay.
All right.
This question is mostly for John, but anyone can answer. I guess I'm anyone, so that's cool.
Congratulations on being anyone.
You know what? It's better than being a nobody, which I usually am. Where is the best place to get used games? I mostly buy mine on Amazon, but often they can be relatively expensive. Since John is not bankrupt, I assume, you must get them pretty cheap. You know what the secret is?
I am actually bankrupt. That's the secret. So.
You know what the actual secret is? Is you go to, what the hell are they called? Up
Pawn
here.
shops?
Yeah, the pawn shops and your money marts or whatever, or your thrift stores and stuff, garage sales, and you walk away with 10 games for maybe $20.
Yeah, no, that honestly is the secret to getting a number of games.
Yep.
Conventions are also really good for it because there's always people selling games.
Unless it's Comic-Con. I heard it's way overpriced for stuff in Comic-Con.
San Diego or
San Diego.
Calgary? Yeah, because there was only one table selling video games there, and all the prices were no, I can get these for cheaper.
Yeah. So, oh, and also, John, can you do / did you ever have a Newfie accent?
My accent was never really that thick, to be honest. It was more so the speed at which I talked.
When you start going a little bit, it's a little there.
I know, like, you'll hear bits and pieces of it when I talk.
Sure.
You'll hear it the most whenever I'm talking to my family or anyone else from Newfoundland, because for some reason, when you're around someone else from the same area, it just kind of slips out.
This is like your blood just like jumping.
It's like just excitement in my body.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, what was I even going to say? Yeah, no, it was mainly that I talk so fast. I had to learn to talk slower when I moved up here.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I still slip into it from time to time. Even in some of my videos, I still have people say, can you talk slower, please?
We're a slow bunch up here in Alberta.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't know you're from Newfoundland at all until you start, like, getting into something sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, some other people that I've met from Newfoundland are like, you don't sound like you're from there. And then I'll say, like, a word, and like, oh, no, never mind. That's the way you said that word is very...
Can you give us an example of the word?
I'm trying to think of it, because there was this girl I knew in university. She was just like, you don't sound like you're from Newfoundland. And then I said some word, and she's like, oh, the way you say the letter R, that sounds right. It's the way you slur your R's.
Like Heidelberg or something? I don't know.
How you getting on by?
Yeah, okay.
But, like, I'm trying to think of something. There's a couple, like, colloquialisms from home that I'll still say. And I even remember, like, recently thinking about it. Because I was thinking, what do you suppose he's up to? Like, most people don't say that, suppose. And there's, like, little things, basically, that have kind of, like, slipped into other
I've never known that
to
be a Newfie or Eastern thing, suppose.
Apparently that is an Eastern thing. Like,
okay.
I said, how do you suppose he's getting on? Stuff like that.
Okay, the getting on part, maybe?
Yeah, the getting on's very, very East Coast.
Yeah, okay. Well, you could have, like, a Boston accent. That kind of works its way into everything in your life, though, so... You sound like a tough guy all the time. People are afraid of you.
Or if you're from Jersey or New York.
Paul asks, but great name, by the way. I hate to miss the show today when big things such as Twitch TV cracking down and fish playing Pokemon are subjects of discussion.
Oh, man, I'm surprised Sean didn't write that in on the list.
There's a fucking fish playing Pokemon. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
It's playing Pokemon!
When I tuned into it, he was asleep, so nothing was happening in the game.
Amazing. How is this getting views? Fuck. What am I doing wrong?
Because it's the internet. You have to learn that.
No, I know. It's because it's gimmicky and it doesn't have any lasting power as soon as it's done.
Exactly. I mean, look at Twitch Plays Pokemon now. They get like maybe 600 people at most now, or close to 1,000, I guess. Somewhere in that range.
That's still like 600 people, way more than should be watching Twitch Play Pokemon. But yeah, no, like stuff like that is zeitgeisty and won't last forever, sort of thing. It's kind of fun though, I guess. There's a fish playing a fucking Pokemon game, whatever. However,
I like Gex's response in the chat. Fish plays Pokemon. I hate everything.
I'm with you, bro. However, I'm going to an Arctic Monkeys concert instead, and we'll watch this when I'm back. So I ask, what's your opinion on the band?
See, I thought you were saying you're going to an Arctic Monkeys concert. I was like, why don't we have tickets? Where's my ticket? I want to go to Arctic Monkeys.
Okay, Arctic Monkeys is actually coming to Calgary on the 31st of this month.
What? Oh no, wait, they're here for X-Fest, aren't they? Fuck! Yeah, that's right. I'm pissed because I can't go to X-Fest because it's Jack White and the Arctic Monkeys. God damn it! I'm actually now upset.
We did it. We did it, Internet! Yes! We did it.
Found a way to make me upset was remind me I can't go see some of my favorite bands in concert because I have to work at PAX.
I'm so sorry, John. I'm so sorry you have to go to PAX and hang out with cool people.
Shut up, Paul. You're such a dick.
I'm sorry. My opinion on the band, honestly, though, is that I always thought they sounded like a more clean Queens of the Stone Age, which I'm not a huge fan of.
I think their sounds changed enough. Because I like their older stuff reminds me more of Queens than their newer stuff.
My thing is, do you know Tool? Like, different Tool songs or...
I'm not too familiar with like their song list, but I know of the band.
Okay, so for people that are in the know or whatever, the way I would I kind of picture this analogy is Tool, Anima, and Previous. The change like from that sound, kind of a dirty Tool sound, to like this sounds really weird because of their bad names, Retarded, but from like or the newer stuff when it's very cleaned up and crisp sounding. I like the Quotza sound better, the Queens of the Stone Age sound, where it just sounds like a bunch of dudes in a garage playing. That's my thing. I just like that better. But they're fine. I like them.
I really like Arctic Monkeys. Their latest album, AM, actually took a while to grow on, besides like the 2 singles that were out at the time. But after listening to it like recently, I'm really digging it now. But I still like some of their crazier stuff. Because their older music sounded more, I don't know, chaotic in a way, and I think I like the sound of the chaos a bit more. But I can appreciate AM now and their newer stuff.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of what album it is that I still am not totally into. I'm still not quite into Suck It and See yet, but every other album I'm kind of down with.
Okay. Cool. May asks, which celebrity / character from any media would you like to get mistaken for? Does it have to be somebody that you could get mistaken for? Because I'd like to be mistaken for any handsome dude ever. I don't know.
Inspector Gadget.
Was Inspector Gadget handsome?
I don't know.
Like Matthew Broderick?
He's a cartoon character. Unless you want to bring Matthew Broderick or French Stewart into it.
No, I don't.
Do you want to be mistaken for French Stewart?
No.
What about John Lithgow?
I'm trying to do the French Stewart face. It's just making me. It's just making.
And I can't see it, which hurts me.
It's just making me do a really racist Chinese face. Oh man, that guy needs to open his eyes a little bit. Who would I like to get mistaken as? Like, if I could pick anybody, somebody that like is cool, I guess, like Hugh Jackman or something. But I'm probably be more mistaken. Like, I honestly don't know.
Okay, someone said this in the chat, and I just wanted to confirm it, and
okay.
I have. Fish Plays Pokemon currently has 13,000 people watching it.
I fucking hate my life. Wait, 13,000?
Yes, 13,000 people.
You know, okay. When I have a humble amount of people watching me, it's fine. I understand. And it's great talking to a small amount of people and stuff while I'm doing whatever. If I was like Total Biscuit, I would be fucking furious that a fish is getting 4,000 people than I usually pull in. Like, that would be infuriating to me, where it's like, no, I should be bigger than a fish. I know I'm not bigger than a fish. So, whatever. It's so weird. It's so weird. The internet. Like, who would you get mistaken as, though? Maybe, like, Harry Potter?
Yeah, that happens a lot. Especially
John Lennon?
Harry Potter and John Lennon. Harry Potter when my hair is short, John Lennon when my hair is long.
Yep.
But I think I'm in between looks right now because I've been trying to figure out what to do with my hair, and I got it longer than I ever had it out, so nothing at the moment, which is okay, I suppose.
I couldn't even begin to think about who I would get mistaken as. I don't know.
Batman.
Batman. I had to breathe in before I did it.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I could ever learn to sneeze, that every time I sneeze said I'm Batman, I think I'd be okay with that.
Until one day you are taken ransom by someone who's like, I'm going to kill Batman. And you're just like, oh shit, I can't sneeze because I've trained myself to say I'm Batman every time. I'm screwed. What am I doing? This is a wreck. Okay. The last email we have is also the longest, and it's probably like worth 3 emails. So,
all right.
I'm going to give it to this guy, though, because I do know this guy. Every time he writes in or sends in a voicemail for the other podcast we do or whatever, he has some great ideas. So, let's take a look at this. Hank writes, I really like the game Monday Night Combat, which was basically a third-person shooter MOBA. It launched as a complete game for $15, but by that time, it was clear the market had changed, so the developers rushed into production on a sequel. Super Monday Night Combat would be a PC-only sequel, even though the original had really set itself apart by launching on Xbox Arcade. It was free to play, trying to grab a piece of that League of Legends Team Fortress 2 hat pie. It also launched too early, way before it was ready, and ran like garbage. Very quickly, the community they had built up was gone, and the game was dead in the water. Now, no one is playing either game on Steam. So I have 3 questions based on this example. Do you guys have any franchises that you really liked that were killed off completely by a sequel?
Mega Man X. Although X8 was actually good.
And people liked X2, the people that played it anyway.
Well, I guess if we're talking like direct sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of very many franchises that like literally only made it to a second game. Beautiful Joe. But that's more... No, they got a third game. Never mind. Bad example.
It's actually a really hard question.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like looking through like my game list, and I'm not seeing much that's really like...
I'm telling you, man,
example.
This dude, every time he sends something in, actually has like the nut-busting questions.
But no, this is a legit good question.
I know. He does great questions, and that's why it's hard. Because you want to give a good answer, but you realize you're not smart.
Well, it's not that a case of you're not smart. It's a case of, like, how often do you think about something like this? Like, what is a franchise you think of that only made it to, like, a game 2?
You don't.
Or, like, stuff like that.
Oh.
A lot of people are... I don't know why people are saying Assassin's Creed, because the second game was actually miles better than the first. That's actually, like,
and it reinvigorated the franchise to actually be a success after Assassin's Creed 1 was very boring. So, yeah, I don't agree with Assassin's Creed at all.
Shenmue, I wouldn't call an example because the second game was really good. It just, because the Sega stopped making consoles. And as a result, we only got Shenmue 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, you can't really think of many examples. There's probably more in the PC market than anything else.
Well.
Yeah, I gotta say, nothing is really jumping to mind right now. So let's move on to the next part of his question.
Yeah, there is 3 parts. So are there any games you care about that were ruined by launching way too early in development?
The worst part is there actually is one, and I'm trying to... Payday 2, technically.
Payday 2, as it stands right now, could probably use another week in development. Yeah. I feel bad for saying it.
But they were in a really bad spot when that game launched.
Their hearts are in the right place. Their prowess in coding isn't.
They're the nicest devs. Like, I've met them. They're super nice. Okay. And they're super passionate about their game and their community. So.
Out of most of the devs I've talked to, I would actually love to talk to them. So you're right. They're probably great. They just need to hire a coder or something. I don't know. I feel like being mean, I guess. Ruined by launching way too early. There probably is something that not really... The problem is, in this world of early access on Steam, as a PC user, like, all of my games now are released too early.
Yeah.
So, like, the answer is yes, there are games that are ruined or whatever by launching way too early, but they're not technically launched. I'm just playing them early because they want more money for development.
Sonic Lost Worlds.
If we're going to use the early access thing, I think Heretic Kingdoms. I can't remember what is it Shadow Heretic Kingdoms?
That sounds right.
This is something I could look up. The first impression of that is so fucking bad, but potential there. and I'm sure it will get better.
Smash Brothers Melee.
I really, really like Melee.
They rushed Melee a lot. They admitted to it, but yeah, like it actually still ended up being a decent product. I think Brawl also had the same issue.
Sonic 06 in the chat. That's a good.
Yeah, that's a good game that should have been at least okay.
Yeah. That never got a chance, I don't think.
No, that one got thrown out.
Oh, well. Last part of the question. Are there any online games that you wish you could play, but there's just no one playing it anymore?
Mr. Driller!
Really?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's playing Mr. Driller online anymore.
You know, there was one game I was reading up on the other day, and I can't remember what the fuck it is, and it's bothering me now. That's really annoying. But... no. Most of the games that I care about have people playing them still. Honestly. For, like, the multiplayer aspect. Maybe, like, Velvet Sundown.
Man. Like 4 mentions tonight now from you?
I'm going back to the well every time. I feel like this question reminded me of a question I was going to ask you, but I don't remember it now, so it probably wasn't important.
All right.
Yeah. Either way, thank you for your questions, your tweets, but more importantly, your patience.
Thank you for your love.
Thank you. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. It wasn't a question. I was going to say this. We talked to the Shovel Knight dudes.
Yeah.
That was fun.
They were good dudes.
Go figure. The good dudes made a good game.
Surprising, huh?
Like, sometimes it is kind of surprising how douchey some people are that make good content. But there's nobody I'm going to give names about, obviously, because that's really gross and inflammatory. But... no, legitimately really cool dudes to talk to. That is up somewhere on the site.
Yeah, that should be on Burning Barrel.
Yeah, I don't remember what the actual link... I think it's ITE 16.
I like how you're like, it's up on the site, and this is the top 10 perspective.
Yeah, well, it fits somehow. Because you were part of it.
Up on Paul's site,
and
I was a part of it.
And Sean was a part of it last week. And Nathan was a part of it before. There you go.
We did it. We went full circle.
The inside-out perspective. Well, that sounds so gross.
The never-ending loop perspective.
I think that's where we should call it for tonight, because damn. All right. Anyways,
I can think one farther to go with that, but it's too far. Easily.
We'll talk about it off air. You won't get to listen to it. See you guys later.
See you next week, guys.